What's going on, people? Ben here from Bateman Talks Tottenham, back with another video from my dad Paul.
Hello.
Where today we'll be previewing the Everton game tomorrow, as we are the first Premier League game of the weekend. Away at Goodison Park, Everton haven't had the best record at Goodison Park this season, sitting them at 18th place if you look at the home table.
And we've done pretty well away.
And we've done very well away this season, so you'd like to think, just purely off that, we should have a good chance of winning this game, amongst other factors as well. But what's your sort of general feeling coming into this game?
Yeah, well, I don't see why we shouldn't win. You just never know. But the personnel are doing quite well, fitness-wise. Is it Lo Celso?
Yeah, Lo Celso and Solomon are still out for this game, but Pape Sarr is expected to potentially be back. Right. And sort of said it would depend on how he comes out of training, but we'd expect him to be back. But I think there was a little bit of a you never know. He's played a lot of minutes, including extra time for Senegal. So,
but maybe 20 minutes or 25 minutes, that might make a big difference.
Yeah, exactly. I think he'll definitely play a part in the game. Whether he'll start it is another one, probably. But even if he does start the game, there'll be players to come off that can come on, and he can come off for him. So he'll play a part, I reckon, but he's not going to play the full 90 minutes, which is, to be honest, understandable. And we've got other options, so he doesn't need to play the whole 90 minutes. No. Although it would be great to see him finally back.
It would, and he can make a big difference.
Yeah, he is brilliant. There is a very big drop-off, I think, when he's not in that team, but there's still people that can fill in. And you never know, people like Skip even might do well. He was quite good, I thought, in the other game, and he was okay in the Man United game as well. Yeah. I think the problem in the Man United game was there were too many similar players, him and Højbjerg, a little bit too similar, and there wasn't really that different creativity or sort of other element to our midfield in that game. But I think Skippy can do a job, and I think Sarr is brilliant, whoever he's with. Yeah. But Skippy with other players around him, I think is brilliant as well.
And we should have an improved discipline.
Yes.
I bet Ange has a few things to say.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of afters in terms of the darts celebration that Neil Maupay did. And there was a lot of afters on social media that I'm not sure Ange would have been too happy about. But let's be honest, they'll get over it, won't they? I think maybe, is there a bit of a worry that other players can get into our players' heads a bit too easily? Potentially, you could say. Yeah, maybe. Or was it just a bit of harmless banter? What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I mean...
Because there was a lot of afters even when we scored, wasn't there?
Yeah. But a lot of the fans actually really appreciate the way Maddison winds people up, etc. Could go for it.
I think it's just as long as we don't get into a situation like the Chelsea game where players lose their heads and we get red cards, I think is the main thing. Yeah. Or stupid yellow cards. And Andrew's saying that he wants players just to get on with the game, which I think is a fair comment, to be honest. Yeah. But... looking more towards Everton, like we said earlier, they've not got the best home record. Had some injuries they've had recently, so that's affected it. Looming points deductions, again. Quite a lot of uncertainty. They're in the relegation zone. With their form, we should have enough, but with our quality on the pitch as well.
But they will, of course, be desperate to get points.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they're going to be absolutely fighting. But I think our quality should overshine them. Yeah. Maddison was brilliant against Brentford. Udogie, as long as he doesn't have these back passes again that have caused the 2 goals against Brentford and that goal against West Ham, then players like him, we've got more than enough quality to win this game. It's just, if anything silly happens, like those back passes that Udogie's got to get out of his game.
Because Romero and Van der Ven were superb.
Yeah, and against Man City. The whole defence is superb against Man City. But it's a shame because Udogie, he's such a good player, isn't he? And he's brilliant. He was involved in all 3 of our goals going forward. Yeah. He was involved in every goal on the night. Yeah. And if he can stamp that out of his game, then what a player. I mean, what a player anyway, but if he can get that out of his game, and he's only 20 years old, so he's got plenty of time to learn. Yeah. This is only his first season playing in a new league, so he's got time to learn, but he does need to be wary of that, and I think Ange, I'm sure, and the defensive coaches will be working with him on that.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, in terms of the midfield, I imagine if Pape plays... probably be Bentancur, Sarr and Maddison, but you never know, Kulusevski might play in there or Højbjerg might play. I think Højbjerg was good in that second half with Maddison and Kulusevski in midfield, but it's a case of does Johnson start on the right and Kulus in midfield, or does Kulusevski play on the right and have Werner on the left and Richarlison up top, who I thought was absolutely superb against Brentford. Richarlison, I think overall that was one of his best games, probably in a Spurs shirt. But you can imagine it'll be the normal back four, Vicario, midfield is up for debate. And then the midfield will depend if Kulusevski's on the right. But you'd think Werner and Richarlison are the guarantees in the front three.
Yeah.
And then we just got to hope we can come out with a win. Set pieces is going to be a challenge. Everton have got a lot of big players and players with good deliveries into the box. So set pieces is going to be a threat, something we've not always been the best at defending this season, or in the history, to be honest, Spurs in the recent history. But you've got to hope that we can deal with it well. I think we should, if we're honest. Everton have only scored, I think, 26 goals all season, roughly. So you'd like to think we aren't going to concede too many unless we mess it up ourselves.
Yeah.
And the likes of Maddison are going to be able to pull us through in this game. So with all that considered, what would you say in terms of a score prediction?
I'm going to go for 2-0 to us.
2-0? Yep. Fair enough. I'm going to go 3-1 again. I think Everton might get something in terms of a set piece. And I went with 3-1 last time and it was 3-2 Brentford, so I was close. But yeah, I think it'll be a 3-1 in this game. I think we will come through with our quality and Everton might get a goal because we've not had many clean sheets recently. But without further ado, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Look out for our match reaction tomorrow after the game. And come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs.